On September 11, 2013, rain started falling on Colorado. Monsoonal moisture from the Gulf of Mexico met a stalled cold front right above the state of Colorado. The unusual pattern produced slow-moving, drenching rain that continued through September 12th, 13th, 14th. And by the 15th, it was clear that this was a weather event of historic proportions.
You know, I don't think at that point that we had any idea what was in store for us.
Imagine a state that typically receives trace amounts of rainfall in August and September received 20 inches or more in just a few days.
We have lost a great deal of infrastructure, and it's going to take, many weeks to rebuild a lot of this.
This storm was a test of Xcel Energy's relentless planning for crisis events.
Over the last 5 years or so, we've done a lot of emergency drills, and some of them did at the time feel very far-fetched and kind of out there. But I strongly believe that our drills and the work that we've done over the years helped us get through this emergency event.
Colorado customers know that weather can cause outages. But the floodwaters of September 2013 inflicted damage of an entirely different character and magnitude. The story is not about the number of electric outages, even though Xcel Energy crews did have to replace 50 poles in some extraordinary conditions. The real story is what the water did to the gas system.
The number of customers affected, even if they didn't realize it, is just tremendous. It's every customer in the Front Range and most of the customers on the near western slope. There's a lot of superlatives being thrown around, and there just aren't any good words left to describe how significant the impact is on our operation.
Flooding damaged or destroyed 26,000 feet of Xcel Energy's gas pipeline. Flash floods raced down canyons above Denver, wiping out roads, bridges, homes, and entire towns. Gas lines, usually tucked neatly next to roads, were unearthed by the scouring floodwaters, left exposed, and in some cases, fractured.
A lot of the first calls were actually blowing gas issues, where the waters had taken out a house, and we had blowing gas in the system.
Xcel Energy's gas and electric crews were urgently mobilized, bringing all of their training, skill, and hard work to the response.
Our very first number one priority was the safety of the public around the system. As we started to get calls in where we had broken gas lines and blowing gas, it was really important that we get in there and that we shut the system down safely. The St. Vrain River left its banks, and the concern was that the pipe had been overly stressed or damaged in some way, and as a consequence to that, we shut it down in the interest of safety. Well, when we did that, we shut down a fairly significant gas supply into our system.
Better than 400 crews and support personnel were marshaled to manage recovery operations and restore service. Electric crews moved up into the foothills and around the Front Range to repair electric lines, poles, and other infrastructure. Damage of this magnitude cannot be tackled in a vacuum. Xcel Energy reached out to local, state, and federal agencies to coordinate our response and restoration.
And that's one of the things that Xcel and its employees bring to this kind of an event, is the relationships that they have with outside entities.
One of the biggest issues with this flood was roads are gone. Huge sections of roads and bridges are gone. I think that the state has announced over 200 lane miles and 50 bridges, and those are the state levels. That doesn't count the county and the private roads and bridges. So at times we've really struggled getting into an area to restore the gas service.
Crews were very creative on how they restored service to our customers. If you look at some of the damage up above Boulder and our inability to access the areas that were impacted, they did an incredible job of building temporary lines.
As field assessment and repair teams fanned out across the Colorado Front Range, the customer care and communications teams joined forces as well.
I think the most important thing that we realized pretty early on is the importance of community-based information.
We wanted to make sure we kept customers informed about their outage and the progress of the work in as much detail as we possibly could. The other piece that we wanted to do throughout was on a more of a mass media perspective, communicate the level of complexity that we were up against as a company.
Xcel Energy communicated to customers through multiple channels, regular news media interviews, a regularly updated website, and through recorded information heard prior to all incoming calls. Additionally, the team utilized social media to a degree never before necessary, responding to individual Facebook posts and even one-on-one emails. And company officials delivered information at town hall-style meetings for affected communities.
We communicated the old-fashioned way, the new-fashioned way, and about every way in between.
The customer care organization dispatched agents to respond quickly to affected customers. Responding to the many inquiries meant that the customer care team needed constant, reliable updates from the field.
We had daily phone calls with the communication team talking about the status of the repair work and how best to communicate what's the next step, and it was a full court press on communications.
In addition, the communications organization uploaded videos and photos of the conditions that its crew were facing as they worked to keep customers safe and to restore power.
We were able to work very closely with our video team to film quick little vignettes, 90 seconds or less, showing the progress of the restoration. And we would post those on social media so we could show people our progress.
Xcel Energy's customer care organization also proactively shut down the billing or collections processes that might be related to customers affected by the floods.
We did put credit holds, held credit activity for almost 1 million customers. We also held up our customers' bills, did not send about 4,400 customers' bills.
We're thinking way ahead of the process to make sure that we're treating our customers in a fair way and taking care of them the way I would want to be treated.
The rain has stopped, but the work continues. In some cases, the work will continue into 2014. Less than a month after the storm hit, Xcel Energy was able to declare that its gas system achieved green status.
We will be back next summer because there's going to be more permanent repairs and work to do.
And as is always the case after every emergency event that the company faces, Xcel Energy is already looking back, asking questions.
What went well? What didn't go so well? What could we do better next time? And really that philosophy of continuous improvement has helped us get better each time.
There are people in Colorado whose lives will never be the same because of this historic storm. We know that. We can also say that we learned a tremendous amount, and it will help us to serve our customers even better in the future.
You know, I'm just so proud of our employees. They are humbled by the damage and the devastation that they have experienced and seen, but then they are also very excited about being able to repair the system and get the gas restored to these customers.
After every major event, we go back and analyze our performance to find out what we could have done better or more effectively. We ask the question, how else could we have helped our customers? We benchmark our peers and challenge our teams to improve the speed and efficiency of our crisis response. We work hard today to prepare ourselves for tomorrow's events. We need to keep investing in our people, our infrastructure and technology, so that when the next disaster occurs, Xcel Energy is ready. Thank you.